It was more than 3 weeks ago that Washington held a primary election, and the results determine who and what will be on the general election ballot in November.
But in Spokane County, those answers only firmed up this week. So now our political reporter Casey Decker is breaking down the final results and what you'll actually see when you sit down to vote this fall.
Let's start with Spokane City Council. District 1 represents Northeast Spokane and is the only district that currently has a conservative council member. So it's perhaps no surprise that the lone conservative candidate in this race, Jonathan Bingle, is moving comfortably to the general election. Of the 3 candidates, he got the largest share of votes with just over 46%. 2 progressive candidates vied to get the second spot and face Bingle in November, and the race was extraordinarily close. So close, it required a manual recount. But the recount didn't change the outcome. Nagmana Shirazi beat out Luke Jasmine III by just 4 votes. Even though her 26.5% pales in comparison to Bingle's, it's likely most of Jasmine's supporters will coalesce behind Shirazi in November, so this race will be close. And in a district with typically very low turnout, every vote will count, as we've just seen. Moving on to District 2, Southern Spokane. Incumbent councilmember Betsy Wilkerson was already the heavy favorite. She had just one opponent, Tyler LeMasters, so there was no need for a primary. She had financial support from basically the entire political spectrum in Spokane, but it turns out that support may have been unnecessary. LeMasters will no longer be on the ballot. This week, a judge ruled him ineligible because he hasn't lived in the district long enough. That means Wilkerson will go unopposed. Though, as with all races in Washington, there will be an option to write other candidates in. And finally, District 3, Northwest Spokane, the only district without any recent shenanigans. The results we saw on election night have held. Progressive candidate Zach Sapone had a dominant showing against 4 other candidates, getting 42% of the vote. Conservative Mike Lish came in second with just under 31%. Progressive Lou Hill also ran a strong campaign, taking in nearly 13%, and it's likely most of her supporters will get behind Sapone, so he'll be the favorite in a blue-tilting district, though Lish has a robust campaign with significant financial backing. There was also another big change to Spokane City ballots this week. Voters will no longer have any ballot measures to weigh in on. The only one that was slated to get voted on was called Proposition 1, and a judge recently ruled it can't go on ballots after all. The measure would have basically banned the city government from itself banning the use of natural gas or hydropower. The judge said basically that's not how this works. Even though voters have pretty broad initiative power in Washington, the judge ruled this is outside their purview, sort of just like micromanaging, so she struck the proposition down. The general election is on November 2nd. Casey Decker, KREM 2 News.